name is Matt Flournoy, Marietta High School honorary class of 72. And I'd like to tell us your name because not everybody knows the name and stuff. And I'm married to this wonderful lady right there, Joanne. And my memories of restaurants in Marietta, I'm going to focus in on one, Jimmy the Greeks. Jimmy and Mary Duvlars ran a restaurant, and they had 3 children, Sunday, Friday, and Nomikos. And a group of lawyers and judges would eat there every day of the week except for Thursday. Thursday was the Marietta Kiwanis Club. But we would eat there. When you go in the restaurant, they have a very long table, and lawyers and judges and elected officials. We had mayors, we had senators, state senators, we had governors that would come and sit there, and we talk about the law. We talk about what cases are going on, what legislation is pending. And it was very educational. As a young lawyer, I started there in 1985. That'd be 41 years ago. But we've been going to Jimmy's, and Jimmy and Mary Duvlars, it's funny, and we were invited to their daughters' weddings. They had great Greek weddings. Sunday got married, and Friday we were invited to their weddings. And Jimmy, his toast to his son-in-law. First of all, I'm going to brag on my son-in-law for 3 reasons. First reason, he's got a job. Second reason, he's got a job. Third reason, he's got a job. That was his toast anyway. And Mary, they ultimately sold it, got out of the business, and we see Mary still at the Greek festival in East Cobb.
Right, bought this from her.
Each year she goes there, and we buy something from her. So we maintain that relationship after they fed us. And all the children got out of the restaurant business. It's a brutal business. And they got out of it, and I was told that nomikos means lawyer in Greek. That's what they always told me. And so that's my memories. I'm finished. Okay. Bonnie, tell us your memory of restaurants in Marietta.
Okay, I'm Bonnie Brooks Barron, and I graduated in 72 with most of y'all. And I grew up here, so I've been here. I mean, I was born in Marietta. I was born in Atlanta, but I lived in Marietta. And Daddy would take us to the little restaurant over here where all the judicial buildings are now. It was the City Cafe.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if this memory is accurate for that place, but for some reason I remember huge fish up on the wall. But I may have mixed that up with another place. But I don't remember much about the food, but it was a nice family place to go. And the other restaurant that I had soft place in my heart for was out on Woodlock Avenue, the Country Cupboard, which became Nick's, which became an empty, dilapidated building.
Right.
And now it's gone, and it's going to be a car wash. We go there, and I can't remember the names of the people who owned it, but they went to our church at Rosa Street. Anyway, we would love to go there because it was a nice country restaurant, vegetables, meat and 3, that kind of thing. And I lived on Hazel Street, just off of Whitlock Avenue. When my husband and I started dating, he's from Smyrna, and he didn't know a whole lot about Marietta. So I said, well, we really need to go down to Country Cupboard. You'll really like it. They have these beautiful yeast rolls that are just wonderful. So we get down there, and he orders a big meal, and they bring it, they'll keep bringing you rolls as long as you eat them. And now when I first met my husband, he was a very introverted, very shy kind of person. And he's not that way now. But when we were going home, when he was taking me home from there, and it was just only like 2 blocks, he started going, he was driving, he started going, oh me. Oh me. And those dinner rolls had just exploded in his stomach. And he wasn't sick, and he never got sick, but he was miserable. But I guess probably about 6 or 7 months after that, we went back to Country Cupboard, and we were sitting in one of the booths, and that's where he asked me to marry him.
Oh, that's great.
So it's a very special restaurant to me.
Very nice.
Tell me where you
Thank you.
Finish.
Finish.
Give him a applause. Carol, introduce yourself and tell us about your memories of your restaurants in Marietta.
I'm Carol Dobbs Argo. I graduated in 72. One of my most favorites is the Marietta Diner. Because when you run into that situation, well, what do you want? I don't care. What do you want? I don't care. You go to the diner,
They got it all.
and the world's opened up. But I always get the same thing, you know. So,
But you want to look at the
look at the world, you know. So
What do you get?
the chicken salad platter.
Oh,
I get chicken salad, potato salad, and coleslaw, and all the little extras around the plate. So that's what we always get. So you get 2 meals off, or I get 2 meals off, and sometimes
They
3.
serve a lot.
But I remember one time, me and Ken and Mom and Daddy, we were on our way up to Gatlinburg, and we stopped like at 4 o'clock in the morning. And we had breakfast with all the Marietta detectives. So I felt real safe that morning, you know. But I'm always ready to go to the diner. And then closer to the square, over, I believe it's over here, was a little place called Hunt's.
It was on
Ice
Church
cream.
Street.
And ice cream, but they had the best hot dogs.
And hamburgers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They were wonderful. And then another place was Dunaway's, because you got to sit on the little stools at the bar. You know, so we were always well fed, but those are my 3 favorites that come to me right away.
I have a
Sure.
Germaine.
Germaine
Question.
She's talking about the hot dogs. They had the finest grained sauce
Yeah.
that they would put on the hot dogs and the hamburgers. It was like a chili sauce, but there were no beans, and I mean, I don't know how they got the meat that little.
I know, it was fine.
It was real good.
Yeah,
Real
yeah, yeah. But when we used to, this was many years ago, when it come time to pay bills, my mother would drive to each place, the gas company, the water company, and I would have to get out and go in and pay them. You know, because she would sit outside and wait. Well, I would run in, and the gas company was real close to Hunt's, so we always got to stop at Hunt's after all the bills were paid. So
You had money left over.
a little bit, yeah. Yeah, I'm finished.
Give it up for Carol. Ken didn't go to Marietta, but he's got some memories of Marietta restaurants, and he has been a valuable member of our group, and you're honorary Marietta now. Okay. Introduce yourself.
What I always say is, y'all don't remember me? Because I didn't go to Marietta, I went to Douglas County. But we didn't come to Marietta that much, being in Douglas County. Only when there was a doctor's office visit or something that was near Marietta, we'd always go to Piccadilly. And that would be the only one that I remember coming to in Marietta. So that's it.
Is that it? Okay. Robin, Jenny.
And this is for the table.
Yeah, that's
okay.
that's community food.
Whoa.
Thank you.
Community fruit.
Community. Robin, spotlight on you. Introduce yourself and your
I'm
restaurant.
Robin Janie, and I'm class of 73. My husband is from the class of 72. He's Ken Janie. But I got osmosed in mostly because of our high school class reunions, and that's how I met Joanne and Matt, was through that high school stuff, and we just bonded.
Mm-hmm.
But my favorite one, well, I guess it was, it still is that we used to go to the Italian kitchen on Roswell Road, and they had this it was called a supreme pasta, and it was pasta, and it had chicken in it, and you could get mushrooms on it. Well, I've got the recipe, and everywhere we go, my family asks me to make that, so we're going on a trip this weekend and next week with the kids, and what they call it, ooey gooey chicken yumminess. So they're always saying, you gotta bring the ooey gooey chicken yumminess. And that's my story.
Well, was that near,
I think that you should deliver that.
is that near Town and Country? Was that the Italian restaurant that's like?
It was on Roswell Road across across from Sears.
Sears Roebuck.
Oh, okay.
Collection.
Okay.
And
At
then
Dodge
also
Street.
they would have the little garlic toast, you know, there, and then and you'd go get the little salad. The salad was delicious. But anyway, that's about it. I'll send you a
Okay, Robin, you finished? All right, you're up, you know the
Okay.
drill.
I'm Mary Frances Atherton Williams, and I'm the class of '73. But I left in '72, but came back to graduate. I mean, I went to college in '72, but came back and graduated my class in '73. So I'm gonna go way back. So when I was a little girl in Marietta, there were not that many places to eat. And my grandmother Atherton liked to take us out to eat, and there was a place called Joe's Steakhouse,
Oh, yeah,
which was on
41.
41, the 4-lane,
45.
and the 4-lane, and we went there. That was kind of a special treat to go to Joe's Steakhouse, and I remember, for some reason I remember getting spaghetti, so we must have always gotten spaghetti, I don't know. But anyway, and then the other one I'm gonna mention is the Elizabeth Country Club.
Yes.
They'll yell at you.
Yeah.
Yes, so I'm gonna talk, so, I didn't go as much when they were actually in Elizabeth, although they would have these fabulous fruit baskets that they would put together that I gave a lot as gifts, and they were, but it was Elizabeth Country Club was a really, popular place among the kids we went to high school with for vegetables and, you know, meat and three. And then they moved out Whitlock Avenue to what is now where there's the Goodwill and
Right.
Events or whatever. And so, but and I went there more, but it was funny because if they didn't like you, they wouldn't serve you. And you were not supposed to look at them. They were very, very, very old. I mean, the dad, the father or whatever, grandfather, actually he leaned on the kind of the cart as his walker. And there weren't that many tables, maybe 6 tables. But if you looked at them or acted like you were impatient, they just would never come. If they thought you were like rude or a Yankee, they would never come. Because I had a Yankee friend with a big mouth, and they never came to her.
Or if you moved.
And but they always served me, and because I never opened my mouth. And they had great pies. In fact, one of the things they did was they had sugar-free pies that were just as good as regular pies. And I used to get their pies some. But I remember once I asked for pie, and I said, "Well, what have you got?" And
What do you want?
yeah, and I was like, "Well, what?" Because they had like 20 or something. And so he brought me the wrong kind, but you know what? I didn't say a word. I did not say a word. So it was a very unique Marietta experience.
Do you remember if you didn't order your dessert with your lunch
Oh.
menu,
Yeah.
they would not bring you dessert. You had to order it before you even ate your lunch.
And don't ever move to another seat because they did not like that. They would put the food down where you ordered it.
That sounds like a Seinfeld.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's the truth.
Bob
It's
Chapel
exactly.
called that. I
never
think he
went.
No
called
dessert for you.
Nazi kids.
Yeah.
But it was really good food.
Yeah.
Really good.
And the other thing is, it would just cost hardly anything, but they charged everybody a different price. I mean, it wasn't much, but you never knew. But it wasn't much, and I never said anything.
It was so good.
But anyway, it was half of the fun was just watching them mistreat other people. So I'm finished.
On that one.
Yeah,
So
follow
I
up.
went in one day in a sundress, and the rule was you couldn't wear a sundress. But I had a sundress, it had straps, and I had been wearing a bra, and they said, and it was covered on the back, and she wouldn't serve me. And I said, it's not a sundress, it's, a sundress is, and I got kicked out.
Wow.
Oh, goodness.
Wow, that's so.
That's interesting. Okay, spotlight on Hannah. Tell us who you are, and And also tell us your role about Old Marietta, the
Sure, I'll
website.
do that. So hello everyone, my name is Hannah Maloney Johnston. I'm not a Marietta High School graduate, but both my parents were. My dad was class of 73 and my mom was class of 76. What I do in my spare time when I have it is the Old Marietta Facebook page. So yesterday I did a post on Brumby Pool, which a lot of people shared their memories about, and that was really great to read. I posted a picture, it wasn't an old picture, it was from '82, but it was a beautiful picture of the pool before anyone had jumped in it. And I just thought that was kind of special with all this hot weather we've been having. It's the appropriate time to go to a pool. But anyways, some of my memories, I kind of have a list, and I'll be quick. My first memory I have of eating in Marietta actually wasn't a sit-down restaurant, it was getting ice cream. When we lived on Maple Avenue and my parents were working and we had a babysitter, our babysitter would walk us to the square, and every time we would walk, we would put pennies on the tracks.
Oh, yeah.
So that when we came home, we would
Smash.
have those cool flattened pennies. But we would go to Sarah Jean's, which is still open and in business, and they used to have the brand called Greenwood Ice Cream,
Oh, yeah.
and which closed a few years ago, and it devastated me because that was just like another piece of my childhood that I felt was gone, because they had bubblegum ice cream, and I loved it because it was like a 2-for-1. You got ice cream and then you got a mouthful of bubblegum by the end, and it was just a lot of fun. So I loved going to Sarah Jean's. Another restaurant I really loved was Kiefer's, which is the best. That was a great place to go. I felt like it was a good family atmosphere, but it could also be a good date night. They had the best chicken fingers, and that's where we would go for every daddy-daughter dance. That was at the Marietta Conference Center. I don't call it the Hilton, it's the Conference Center. Another place I loved going with my dad especially was Nick's when it was on Session Street.
Oh, yeah.
He had his own chair there, and they had the best Greek potatoes and the best Greek chicken. I loved that, and I loved Wanda. She was a lot of fun. The next to last is Elmo Paul, which used to be on 41. It's now been bulldozed, sadly, and it was something before Elmo Paul. Bob told me once what it was, but I don't remember.
The trio, it was the trio, wasn't it?
Something.
That was across the street. I thought it was.
That's where Joe's Steakhouse was.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, Joe's Steakhouse.
And I think now they bulldozed it and turned it into a storage facility. But that was a great Friday night place to go with my dad because he knew everybody who worked there, and they also had good chicken fingers. And then the last place I really remember going a lot with my dad was it's also gone, is the Crystals, which is where Starbucks is now. And we would go in there and he would buy a sack full of crystals, and me, him, and my sister would just sit there and eat the bag of crystals and walk around the square and maybe go to Sarah Jean's and go home. So those are my Marietta restaurant memories.
Give it up. Hannah, you did your homework. You get an A.
Thank you.
David.
So,
Introduce
my
yourself.
name is David Jonathan Schur. I am not a graduate of Marietta High School. I'm a graduate of Cranford High School in New Jersey, but I did go to Emory University, and that's what brought me to Atlanta. And then, memories of restaurants. So, after I graduated college, I was in a rock and roll band, and we played at Schilling's on the square. And that's actually where I met Donna.
Wow.
Schilling's used to, I'm sure they gave us free food. You know, hey, we were struggling, so I mean, a burger here and there was always great. But what I do remember was we played at a place at some hotel motel chain, and they cut our contract and we sued them. And so we had to go to court here in Marietta. And during lunch, we went to the Marietta, I guess it was a little diner. Or no, it was
The Greek restaurant?
no, it wasn't a diner, it was the pharmacy. It was the pharmacy
Dunaway's?
where they had the
Dunaway's.
Atherton's?
Yeah, Atherton. So what I remember,
That's her
what I
father's
remember was that it was great milkshake, killer lay your face on a milkshake. And so they also, I was a big tuna melt sandwich guy, so they would give me a tuna melt sandwich, and that's what I remember. But recently, we come up here to Marietta, and I think one of our big faves is Spring. It's a Phnom restaurant. It's right down over here, and it's actually one of the finest restaurants in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So we.
And it's not in Atlanta.
It's true. Well, in the Atlanta area,
Right.
statistical metro Atlanta area. And so I think, you know, even though Don and I have gone to a bunch of little restaurants, but those are kind of like the little memories I remember. And I will make a plug for Greenwoods, because Greenwoods is near my office in it's in Chamblee.
Ice cream.
Yeah, ice cream place. And what was really amazing also about Greenwoods is they had these amazing killer ice cream pies. And I would have them always, when an employee had a birthday or whatever, I would always bring in 2 pies. And when it closed,
He
it
would
killed me.
eat too.
Well, I would eat one myself. But, you know, we'd also bring them to events. I remember bringing them to Flays and stuff like that. But so Marietta has just actually now become a really good foodie place. I mean, here you have Max, you have the Italian restaurant. I love the little Italian restaurant that just closed. His mother made the most amazing cannolis. I mean, he should open up like maybe a cannoli place, because they are blow your face off. I mean, literally, I eat buy a half a dozen, and before we even got to the car, I eat 4. So it was really great.
He
I'm done.
exercises a lot.
John, spotlight on.
Can I say something about Greenwoods?
Sure.
So the other thing that I found out about Greenwoods years later was they made the ice cream for the private country clubs. They made it for like Capital City Club.
Yeah.
Which was, you know, they made their ice cream, and it really was the best ice cream.
It was great.
It was so nasty in there.
Yeah, even though I must say.
Well, I'm glad I didn't
You
know
go in
that.
there and you go, I want a couple of pies.
Really?
Just throw them in a bag. Let me get out of here.
I mean, I would have loved to have bought it, you know, and you know, turn around to make it, you know, make it a great.
But they did real unusual. Didn't they do a coconut ice
They
cream?
did everything. Their
Restaurant?
coconut ice cream
So
was
good.
impeccable.
Well, my memory of Marietta
Yeah,
is going.
this is Donna.
Donna Jean Bearden from Marietta, Georgia.
But you're no longer bearded.
I'm no longer Bearden. I'm sure. Donna Jean. Sure.
Same initials, DJS.
Yes. Double D's.
Oh, wow.
And my memory of Marietta is going to Atherton's after school and getting a chicken salad sandwich on toast and the crinkle cut French fries. And I remember Flay Haskell she was always in our closet. And she would order the French fries, and she'd put mustard on her French fries. I've never seen anybody else do that.
Matt does it.
I do.
Ralph does it.
Do you really?
Yep.
Flay is my cousin.
Oh, it's genetic.
It's
Matt,
genetic.
See, I didn't know you.
But and I loved Jimmy
I don't
the
exactly
Greeks.
know
Jimmy
how,
the Greeks, those
but we're
rolls. Oh my God, those yeast rolls she made. And there was also, and I can't remember the name of it, but it was on Roswell Road that you went past the Big Chicken, and it was over on the right, down in like a little. You remember that? And I remember,
Of course.
I thought it was steak, but it was actually a ground beef patty. But I would always get that. It was an Italian restaurant, right?
Say
I
that
remember
again.
Gino's being over there, but it was Pete's place.
Was it Ruth's?
There was a pizza place in high school.
Well, but didn't they have food too? Couldn't you get
I
a
don't know. Maybe
Anyway.
so. Just got pizza.
But my husband is right. Marietta has become like a destination, and I would have never ever in a million years thought that would happen.
Donna, put it on pause. Protocol here, etiquette. Go ahead and start eating when the food lands in front of you. Just go ahead and start. But we'll still have the spotlight on our speaker. Back to you. Donna, you have the floor.
I'm finished.
Do you remember the manager there was Clell Corbin
Yeah.
Where?
at Atherton's? His name was Clell. He started his own restaurant in the old Waffle House.
Call Clell.
I'm just talking about her thing.
Yes. Well, it was a drugstore.
Drugstore, that's it.
And her family owned it.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's killer. I mean,
So, can I just say something about Clell?
Sure.
Yeah, so Clell was a great cook, and a great manager, and the biscuits in the morning, we would have people, of course, I had to work there, for like $2 an hour or something for most of my young life, but the biscuits were killer, and I worked at the cash register, and the people just would come. But, the other thing, you mentioned the chicken salad, he also made a chicken salad club, do you remember that?
Oh, God, yes. Club, my love for club sandwiches is from.
But nobody has ever, matched Clell's chicken salad club. And on, like on Christmas Eve, when we were all working late, wrapping packages and selling stuff, cause that was, when people who hadn't bought Christmas presents.
Yeah,
come
that was
there.
the flyers.
Yeah. Clell would always make a huge pot of chili and feed us, as long as the store was open. Clell was the best. Sweet guy.
Carson.
Margaret, you got the steak for each meeting for you, sir? Of course. It's gonna be a little bit of hot place.
Donna, you finished, honey?
Yeah.
Do you want mustard for your fries? Do you want mustard for your fries?
Kathy, spotlight on you. Tell us who you are,
If
when
he
you
gets it, I'll get
graduated.
it. No, he,
No, they have.
Okay.
oh,
I'm
Okay.
Kathy Lawson Seacrest,
He's gone.
graduated in 72. Probably was supposed to graduate in 73, but I skipped the junior year when I graduated with Bonnie and several other people. I think this was still Marietta, but one thing that I remember, on occasion, my dad would take us on Sundays to the Rio Vista.
Oh,
Rio
yeah.
Vista, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yes, the catfish place. And because we loved catfish.
Oh.
And my parents had friends that lived in, I think in Dallas or somewhere like that. And anyway, they knew a lot of catfish places, so we would go all over and have catfish. And this was even as I got older. But of course, I left home right after I graduated, anyway. But that was one thing. And then we lived down the street behind the Crystal on Cassandra Drive. So anytime my mom would make things that I could not stand, salmon patties, oh no, I left the house, wouldn't come in and go to the Crystal. Me and one brother, we would go to the Crystal and have crystals. Not sure how many we had, but we just ate crystals. And so if mom couldn't find us, she knew where we were. And then if she made hot dogs and sauerkraut, I was out of the house then. So needless to say, it was a lot of times my brother and I just moseyed right on up. Because there used to be a little go-kart track up there, because there was a Sizzlin' Steakhouse or something right there as well, just on the other side. Yeah. But it was on the bowling alley was way on up, but this was almost in the Kmart shop, and when there was Kmart there, this was more closer to the Kmart side. And so my brother that went with me to the Crystal, he started working at the Sizzlin' Steakhouse, so I would sometimes sneak in there and get something to eat. But we were a big family, because there were 5 kids, and I was the oldest of the 5, so we couldn't afford to go out that often, because my mom didn't work except for babysitting, and my dad drove a semi, So, you know, that was when we thought semi-drivers made good money. But all the money went into the repair of the truck. So, but that was, the main thing was, Rio Vista, and then, of course, not in Marietta, but in Atlanta. My dad loved to go to the Varsity.
Yeah, okay.
So on occasion, we would, and he would not go in. He wanted to be outside and have the guys take the orders because they were so snappy and right on and knew what they were talking about. So we would, that was our other big thing, was going to the Varsity. So that's it.
Give it up.
I got something about Rio Vista. Is that okay now? Lula Harrelson's mother, German mother, who was one of the best Southern cooks I have ever. She, on her day off, she would prepare a feast of vegetables, and she would shuck the peas, and she would scrape the corn. I mean, fabulous cook. But Lula and I would pick her up after Lula got her driver's license, and we would, after work, and she'd get in the car, and it would smell like fried fish. And she would, I mean, we'd have to roll down the windows because it was like, oh my God. But that family that owned that restaurant, they were so good to Lula's mother. They just were real. Do you remember their names, Matt? The people that owned Rio Vista?
I do not remember their names.
Yeah, they were just really nice people, and I could do. I mean, the fish was okay.
Okay. I'm gonna put, give it up.
Was my favorite place, not as a little girl, it wasn't there then, but we would go to Appleton's. Was it Maud? What was the lady?
Oh, Maud.
With the cigarette, always, yeah. That was, but when Quail opened, that was, during that time, a lot of us were single or divorced or whatever, but we had a little crowd. And it was Bob Chappell and Ann Hawkins and June Webb, and there was a few of us, and we would go at least 3 times a week to Quail's. We might go for breakfast on the weekends, or we might, let's go, talking about the salmon patties. That was June's favorite, so if they were having salmon patties, we would go. And the girls that worked there eventually got to kind of know what we were gonna get, you know, and it was a lot of fun. We brought back a lot of members when we brought up Quail's to us. But the Rio Vista, my dad did not take us out to eat. He was we ate at home, or you just, you know, you might go get cold cuts down at, what was the place on Pat Mill that had the deli, you know, he would bring cold.
Oh, yeah.
Howard's.
But he would go by, on the weekends, he would go over to Rio Vista and bring home those red boxes. He would bring home like 6 of them, and they were already falling apart by the time we got home. But that was those little tiny little catfish and the hush puppies and French fries. Somehow they would still be warm when he got home. But that's what I remember most about as a young girl, and then Quail's as a kind of a
Where was
midlife. And I'm
Across the line. Give it up for June. Okay, Mary Maloney Chapel. Tell us about your memories of restaurants in Marietta.
Okay. First of all, thank you for lunch. I appreciate that. Yeah, Mary Maloney Chapel, class of 1972. And my early memory is picking up hamburgers from Burger Chef. That was on Roswell Road, and it was about in the area where 75 went through. That was in the area. And my dad would go and pick up a huge stack of hamburgers. I don't know, maybe 30 or 40 hamburgers, maybe. And all those hamburgers, you only got to have a hamburger. You didn't get to say cheeseburger or anything. It was all the same. Hamburger and French fries. And then this would be on a Friday night. Live Atlanta Wrestling was on. Yeah. So we got to sit in front of the TV the only night of the week. He would spread newspapers on the floor, and they would, give us a hamburger and a few French fries. You didn't get a whole pack, just a few, and that was our big treat for the week. I don't think it happened every Friday night, but every once in a while.
Wow.
That was pretty cool.
Very cool.
And then I also remember growing up, Dunaway's drugstore near the hospital. Eating there as a child, probably French fries and a Coke were the big deal. They made the best French fries. And there was a guy in the back who made their pies. And I don't even know his name, but he made the best coconut cream pie. And my mom would go and pick up a whole one and bring it home. And somehow divvied it up into just 11 pieces. But yeah, that was her favorite pie, so that's what we got there. And as I grew up and dating and in high school, Russo's was my favorite. Favorite
Maybe it was
place to go.
Where was
Yeah.
that?
Russo's was at East Marietta Shopping Center.
Down in the hole.
Down in the hole.
Yeah. That's what you're thinking.
And
Dr. Snow's had his office there.
they made the best pizza, and it was just a great day place. But I remember, y'all, my date and I would order a large, and we ate the whole thing. And I can't believe that we ate the whole thing, but we did. So yeah, that was pretty cool. But you'd always see other people there, either after the football games or whatever. But I'm gonna throw in one more.
Sure.
This is for my mom. She loved Dunkin' Donuts, and she would send Dad out on a run to the Dunkin' Donuts on Roswell Road and get fresh donuts. They were fresh back then. I don't know if they're fresh now, but they were fresh back then. I think the sign said never more than 24 hours old. I think that's what it said. But he would go get her those, and that was really special. So he did.
Betsy, introduce yourself and you know the drill.
Okay, Betsy Maloney Miller, class of 1974. Mary stole some of my stories, but I'm going to elaborate. My earliest memory is not, was it Burger Chef?
It was Burger Chef.
Mine is Ray Van's Marble Inn.
Yes, 41
Elizabeth.
Page Street.
Now Brandy's.
Yeah.
Raymond's what?
Marble Inn.
Oh, I think
Melissa Ray Van's grandmother ran it and lived in the home right next to it, and we used to drop Melissa off after school to her grandmother's house next door to the restaurant. Again, Dad would go pick up ever how many hamburgers, and my memory is when I was the baby of the family, so there were only 5 of us. Mark, Matt, Barry, Philip, and me, and we lived on Church Street, and Dad would lay out the newspaper in front of the Zenith 4-legged black and white. And it was so cool because as a larger family, we didn't get many things that belonged to us. I mean, a lot of our food came out of a pot, but to get a hamburger or even a banquet chicken pot pie that we didn't have to share. I mean, those things were special.
I bet.
Special memories. Later in high school, Bill and Louise's was a great restaurant to stop in for a Coke and French fries.
Where was it?
Right
At the mountain.
Yes.
Old 41
Yeah,
and
Old
Kennesaw
41
Avenue.
and Kennesaw Avenue.
Well, she got rid of his name real quick
Yes,
after he
she did.
died. I mean, his name was off the sign before he was old.
Yeah, it really was.
I would love to know the
There's gotta be a
background.
story behind it.
Oh, there is?
I said there's
gotta
to be a story.
be.
Absolutely.
But those are my memories. And on a side note, I've heard rumors for years about there's going to be a roundabout there, but nobody's.
Last time I
started
read
it.
There's supposed to be 2.
There's supposed to be one.
One at Stylesboro and one there, and
Kennesaw
they're gonna
Avenue.
close all those roads
Okay.
at different times and mess the traffic up again.
It'll be really a mess.
Because
Okay.
they'll type the traffic in front of my house
They'll
again.
let us know.
That's right.
Nobody can figure them out. I mean, they.
I hate roundabouts.
Anyway, I'm done.
All over the place.
I'm done.
Mr. Betsy. Okay, Ralph, spotlight's on you. Tell us about
Okay.
Introduce yourself. And then
Ralph Fowler, sometimes known as Bucky Fowler, by people that have known me a long time. And I graduated from Marietta High School, supposed to in 74, but I graduated early in 73. Betsy didn't know that she could, so she took study halls instead of taking real classes, and so. But I had a graduation in 73 and one in 74, and I went to both reunions and helped out with both of them. So, anyhow, Mary stole mine.
What's wrong, Cheryl?
Russo's Pizza by Candlelight on Roswell Street,
That was a name.
down in the hole, right at the corner, and it was on a slope, and they had an upstairs dining room, they called it, that was 2 steps up because it was on the slope part. But that was a favorite date place, and yes, I did date a few people in high school. A couple, anyway. They didn't go to Marietta though, so none of the Marietta ones would date me. But anyway, they had a pepperoni and wine pizza, and I loved that. And it was cool because you got something with wine on it also. So it was
Pepperoni and wine. How did they
Pepperoni and
incorporate?
wine.
How did they incorporate the wine?
They just poured it on top, I guess.
You were underage drinking.
So, but anyway, I remember that so well. I loved that pizza that they had there. And then, since everybody's talking about 2 or 3 restaurants, you talked about the City Cafe over, and somebody talked about Hunt's, which there was one on Atlanta Street.
Yeah.
That was Economy Ice Cream.
Yes.
But it was also Hunt's, I think. But I think there was a Hunt's on Church, but also on Church was the Downtown Cafe,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the competitor to the City Cafe.
Right.
And I went to first kindergarten through 6th grade at St. James Day School. Later became Walker. My headmaster was Joseph T. Walker. And I would walk home from school around 6th grade and stop at that Downtown Cafe. French fries were 20 cents.
Wow.
And I remember that place, and I don't remember how much a Coke was, like 10 cents or something. It was so cheap to eat there. But that was a place. And then, of course, when we would go to church at St. James, a lot of times we would nip out the back door as soon as they dropped us off at the front door. We'd nip out the back door and walk down the tracks to St. Atherton's. And then my last memory is actually before it was Jimmy the Greek's Très Jolie.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
I do.
I never ate at either place, but and
Hey Matt, I do want to say one thing. When Don and I got married, that whole weekend was kind of like a cool weekend. But a restaurant had just opened called Kiosco. It's a Colombian restaurant, and so they allowed us to have a wedding party there, pre-wedding.
Right.
And they really were, just so accommodating. The food was impeccable. I mean, when they first opened, I don't know what happened subsequently. But Donna and I were just walking around trying to figure out what would we do for.
Because we got married in Marietta.
Yeah, we were getting married at a friend's actually house, and so we were just walking around, and we walked in there for dinner, and it was just so great. And we asked them, hey, would you guys accommodate like 20 people for one of those pre? And they were just impeccable. And I know you guys as a law firm would go there all the time to eat.
Is this when it was Colombian?
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
now it's still Kiosco.
They're from
Yeah,
Turkey now.
it's so much
Yeah.
better now, according to me
And
anyway.
they just opened a new place where the
And
kids.
Antica.
Yes.
And it's
very
only
good.
open at
Oh,
night
yeah.
though.
Yes,
well,
it
4
was a
p.m.
night kind of
Yeah.
hangout.
Like,
place
and it's
there.
got like small plates.
Well, during the pandemic, my sister and I somehow got hooked on Turkish dramas.
Oh.
And we are so addicted now. I don't watch any American TV anymore. I've got a website that's watchturks.com.
Oh, wow.
So where do you watch Turkish drama? What channel?
On I had to download their app.
I
it's
see.
like Netflix, but it's
okay.
So is everything in Turkish or is English subtitles?
it's all in Turkish, but they have subtitles. But my point with Fiasco is I heard they were Turks. And this is right after they opened. They are my best friends.
Aren't they?
I just got back from Turkey.
Oh.
So I'm just telling you that.
Did you see them after you got back, or you just?
Oh yeah, I had to go because my daughter Beth is friends with them also.
Yeah,
so
they're great.
They had to give them a play-by-play. She's in Istanbul. She's going in the morning. She's leaving to go to Cappadocia, and then we went to Ephesus and Izmir.
Okay, Joanne, introduce yourself and stay on topic. Restaurants in Marietta.
Joanne Rose Flournoy, Kingston High School, Kingston, New York, class of 73. So I did not grow up here, but the first time I came to Marietta, it was in 1974. And was Jimmy the Greeks around then?
Yes.
So we ate there, and I can't enjoy another Greek salad as much as Jimmy's because it was in the middle. Potato salad, and it was just amazing. It's like, I had to get through the lettuce to get to the best part was in the middle. So that was great, and we did become very good friends with the Duvlarises. We still, as Matt said, we still see Mary every now and then. And then another place, was it George Segalis's?
Yes, George's.
Yes.
Steakhouse, had steak.
And your father took us there. That's right, and that was very good. I was really impressed with that.
George Segalis.
Right, and then we currently love Kiosko. We go there quite often. We walk there from where we live. And so and Matt's really good. He's gotten me to appreciate knowing who your servers are, which I think is really important.
Tell them the name of your server.
So
I know all of them.
Furkan, Yeet.
Yeet.
And the interesting thing is, at first I got them mixed up. Baran is the shorter one.
Baron.
Tuna.
He says I can call him Baron.
Oh, yeah.
Baron. Right, I call him Baron. And Tuna and Eric also. But it's interesting, in the beginning, and Khan is the owner, I got Furkan and Yeet mixed up because they're both
they look so
tall
much alike.
and they're handsome. One of them just got married. Now one of them has darker hair.
He just got married.
Yes.
But y'all, his name is spelled like Yidget. If a G is in there, they don't pronounce the G, so we were calling him Yidget. As I've watched the shows, I've learned a lot of that.
Yeah. But phonetically, it's Y-E-E-T, Yeet.
Yeet.
Right, exactly. And they have the best couscous. It's soaked in beets, and it's got some corn on it, and it's with the sea bass, but you can get it as a side if you ask for it as a side. And for several times, I would order the sea bass with just the rice. And Khan, who's the owner, kept saying, "You've got to try the couscous. You've got to try it with the couscous."
So good.
And finally, one night he came out and brought me a taste of the couscous, and I'm so hooked. I order it every time I walk in the door. With the beets, the beets. So, and then we also love the onions and mushrooms caramelized. Delicious.
Have you had their Turkish breakfast?
I haven't, but I've seen it on the menu, and it looks fabulous.
It is. But my sister and I laugh because they do set their tables like that, and every meal in Turkey they'll have cucumbers and tomatoes on their cheeses, olives, all this stuff.
For breakfast, right?
For breakfast. Beautiful table, know. Maybe some egg dishes or whatever, but no one ever eats because they get in a fight. Somebody pulls the table. So we laugh up there. I said, "Can we really eat this, or we have to get in a fight?" Because they know how that goes.
Oh, that's cute.
But it's really good.
It is. We love it. We just love it, and we always take our out-of-town guests there too, and they love it too.
So now it's a Turkish restaurant.
It's a Turkish restaurant.
Mediterranean. Don't let Con doesn't want you to say that.
Okay. So anyway, I'm finished.
Give it up.